pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody. Board minutes show missing 2 board members. The only change in the agenda is we're going to flip around some of the board policies. And there's a good reason for it because one of them we're doing a second reading and then we're going to have to redo it. So we'll do 3 first and then we'll do 1 and 2. So just an FYI, if anybody has any concerns with that, there's a good reason for it. All right. Public comment on anything that is not on the board agenda? All right, perfect. We'll move on to, see, do we have any special presentations for student council? Did you want to? Nope. Perfect. We'll keep on moving on. Food service. Your report.
Not much on our end. Numbers are a little skewed because of the middle school starting late. And we started the year off a little short-handed, so we're figuring that out as we speak. So that's all I have. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Awesome. Any questions for Nick? All right. Technology. Mr. Shaggy.
Good evening, thank you. Real quick, down in the right-hand corner of the technology board report are really the only 2 things I'd like to take a few moments to highlight. We did get all of our servers transitioned over to the Hyper-V solution. Massive cost advantage to that. We did have a couple of little hiccups as moving those larger resources typically flushes out. But I think we got past most of them within a few hours. The other thing I'd like to just point out to the board is we have been working with obviously Ryan Wells and Jacqueline Brazil to get the Washington building up and running for the ALC needs as well as for Ryan's program over there. And we're pretty much at the tail end of that. We've got the cabling in, we've got phones in. We just need to do some stuff with printers and final check in with Ryan to make sure he has what he needs. But we're happy to been able to get that put together fairly quickly. Yeah, anything else on the board report? I'm happy to answer any questions if you have anything that needs some clarification.
I don't think so. All is running. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Okay. Finance report, Kathy.
I wanted to note that we had a couple donations, 150 for high school art from Art Inc. And then Coca-Cola donated $197 for high school staff appreciation. We did receive $5,500 for mitigation fees for the Gifford Estate subdivision project. And then also at your spots, you've got a copy of the trustees financial report for fiscal year 25. This goes in conjunction with the budget. This is how we did last year, how we expended the revenues we received and the expenditures in the different funds. This is what the auditor bases his audit on. So if you have a chance to look at that and if you have any questions. And then I also gave you all a copy of the 25 legislative session, the summary of the legislation related to K-12 education, if you are interested in that. Do you have any questions?
So, good. Cool. Any questions? All right. Keep going. Cruising. Maintenance custodial.
Think kind of got that thing figured out, so that's kind of was our biggest thing there for a while. Got the ALC moved over to Washington and still got some work to do there, but get things figured out there, and I think everything else kind of, we were as ready as ever for the school year to start, and a few other projects still working on the lights. I think we just got a handful of classrooms that are still, I think the art rooms, I think Chuck was still working on and getting the LED lights changed out and stuff, but other than that, just a couple of weird spots that we haven't done yet that take some special work to do, so.
All right. Let's see. Tom, did you want to speak on transportation grounds or anything like that?
I know his big grounds project was getting the front of the middle school. We could put out some wood chips because the ground was just getting ruined and turned into a mud pit. So he got that done just last week, so that was good. better than it was, for sure.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. All right, any questions on all this? Legal human resources?
Just busy past month, just summarily, a lot of contracts and a lot of supporting the buildings with some interesting parenting plans and a lot of family law stuff happening. Just getting off to the year on the right, but with that type of thing and working with the admin as they need stuff going forward. So nothing to highlight, but just high volume as everyone's experiencing right now.
Or set communications, just rooms and all that, kind of more fun. So all that good stuff going there. Principals is ready. All right, so last time we went right to left, so we'll left to right. Down to you first.
Everything else is in Mr. Lewis's work report here that he has shared with you. There's just a lot of moving parts, as you guys know, to open up the school year, but with Ryan's help, the Polytech is off and running with our full-time online school, full-time ALC, plus the HHS, and I think it's going really, really well. And I also just wanted to thank the parents and the community and the students implementing that cell phone policy. I think has been really great. I've heard nothing but very positive things, not only from the teachers, but also from the parents that I've reached out to so far. So I just wanted to thank everybody for really committing to that solidly. I think it's been a really good change for us. So thank you.
Sounds good. Did you want to speak for Travis as well, since you're?
Oh, well, I mean, he's got his stuff too, but we have, obviously it's homecoming week,
Right.
so that's like the most exciting part for us. It started out our school year in a lot of fun ways. The kids have been awesome dressing up. Soccer's playing tonight, and then we've got volleyball on Thursday and football on Friday and the dance. So hopefully everybody can come out and support all the Bronx as they're competing. And we've got a lot of kids in athletics, as you guys can see. Hopefully everybody can make it. I'd love to see you on Fridays.
Awesome, thank you. Any questions? Ms. Pandera?
Yeah, Ms. Pandera, what is the new cell phone policy?
So what we've implemented is that students are not allowed to have their phones on them or on during the bell to bell. So when they enter the classroom, they're expected to put it in the caddy, or they can keep it in their backpack, locker, or car if they choose to do so, but they can't have it on their person. So if they exit the classroom, they're not supposed to have it in the hallways. A teacher can confiscate it at that time. I've taken 10 phones so far. I call the parents on the first go round. I give the phone at the end of the day and call the parents. If it gets taken ever again, second, third, fourth, whatever, a parent or guardian has to come pick it up from that point forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Excellent, perfect. Any other questions? All right, Ryan, you're.
Yeah, sorry for not getting reported to you all. A couple of things I just want to note in terms of enrollment. We've got a count at the Polytech that you can actually pull in IC. So it's pretty exciting when you look in IC. The hard work that our whole team has done to make that happen, to kind of get from where we were at the beginning of last year to now. You see 47 students in Infinite Campus under the Polytech calendar. They all have a schedule, whether it's online or their ALC classes. And we can get a pretty accurate assessment of who's a shared student with the high school part-time enrollment in most schools and who's full-time. So that's the latest. We're at 39.5. The expectation is we're at 41. So we're right there. Generally, our ALC population grows over the course of the year, so I don't see us having any issues meeting that average of 41 on October and February count days. That's at the high school level. At the middle school level, Ms. Gray and I are meeting with the middle school staff tomorrow afternoon, or the middle school charter team, Cali team, to try to get make sure their Infinite Campus calendar is squared away as well. We have a solution that we think will work, and so we're excited about that. We'll just have to get that implemented. And our numbers there are a little bit lower overall. I think we're sitting at 14 in the charter school right now. Actually, probably 16 with a couple online kids, so we need to be at 21 there. So we'll see how we can get those numbers up over the course of the year as well. Online enrollment at the high school, we have 49 total students taking 146 classes or sections. So pretty close to consistent with last year. A few more full-time online kids this year, probably closer to 15 than 10 last year. That's a rough estimate. And then just to pivot to adult ed real quick, we've got 16 instructors teaching about 40 classes offered over the next several months through September through December. So a lots of good stuff happening. And then dual enrollment, we're just finishing up registration for fall classes. It's kind of been registration season, getting all these platforms up and running, getting kids into all these different opportunities. Dual enrollment's the last one. We had a parent meeting on Wednesday night that went really well. We were pleased with our turnout, and we are optimistic that it'll run smoother this year.
Fantastic. Okay, any questions about Polytech, adult ed? Ryan has a lot of hats, so. All right, now, Wendy?
All right, for the early learning center, so we have 73 students in total right now attending, 65 in the early literacy, and then 7 in our special education program. I 100% anticipate our special education program to grow. And then I know we've gotten a few that enrolled this last week in the rest. And as far as that goes, they're just starting. But if you need a boost in your happiness, just please come in, because they are so much fun to see right now. And they're always so excited to be at school. And then for student services, for special education, you'll see our current numbers there of special education students we have in the school district. And then I don't have how many students moved in from out of district and out of state. I made a mistake in how I did my form that I sent to my teachers, so I'm gonna get that fixed, and I'll have those numbers for next month. But I know we have a lot of students that moved in, specifically at the high school. There was a lot of students.
For special ed, Wendy?
Yes, for special education. Yep, they just keep coming. So, yeah, our numbers just keep growing. And then we have our CSCT services. We have Aware at Daily, doing the HSS, and then Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch at the middle school. At Daily, I believe they have a full caseload, and at the middle school, they have a few more that we can add to their caseload. And then otherwise, I've just been meeting with teachers and 504 specialists, nurses, all those good things.
Fantastic. Okay, any questions for Wendy? How many early kindergarten did we have last year?
I looked, and I think we had 65 total students at Washington last year.
Okay.
So, and like 9 of those were, I want to say, special education.
Okay.
Maybe a few more than that, actually. So we are up from last
It just
year.
looks bigger, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
What was that number?
From last year?
This year.
Oh, this year it's, we have 67 over there right
So
now.
we're a few up.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, middle school, welcome.
Okay.
We started since last time.
Your day today. So really, I just want to highlight that it's been our actual first week of school, and I think what is indicative of all of the work that a number of people across the district have put into making this happen for us is the 5th grader, the first point under students on the board report, and a little 5th grade girl at the end of the day last Friday come out of her classroom, and she was glowing, and she just said, "This has been an amazing first week of school. I love it here." And that would not have happened without all of the hard work of Jamie and Tom, and we have Nick, who has been our lead cook this week because we don't have one. Short staff, Wendy has been filling in to help us, and all of the teachers that have worked so hard to make sure that kids are enjoying it. So it has been a really positive vibe, and we are embracing that theme this year. Today was Batman and Batgirl Day, and the kids were out in force to dress up for homecoming week for us.
Excellent. Yeah, any questions from Ms. Gray? All right, Daily.
I just wanted to highlight, well, I really want to highlight, but I feel like I should highlight, that our enrollment is a little bit down, as you know, but I'm excited to hear that there's 65 kiddos over the DL, so hopefully the trend is over, but we won't know until September. So we're at 520 right now, this time last year we were at 542, and the year before we were at 553. So 2 small classes in a row has led to 520. I am really excited to say that we are done benchmarking, which at this 8 days into the school year, to be done benchmarking is quite the feat. We had a huge benchmarking team, which just simply means that they go classroom to classroom to classroom and do the benchmarking assessment with our students. They're done 1-to-1, so we do a cadence for reading and screener for math. which allows us to make early choices about best placements for kids in interventions and extensions and those kinds of things. So to have that already done is just phenomenal. I'm super grateful to my team. Another highlight is that Keystone is up and running. Rory and Megan Brayland and Megan Lewis have done a great job of getting that going. We're running about between 80 and 90 kids right now. We do still have about 30 kids on our waiting list. So we're hoping to be able to accommodate them sooner rather than later. But we have to hire more adult humans to make that happen. And we held our Yellowstone meeting with our parents last week. We also had 80 kids, or over 80 kids in our families show up for that meeting. So commitments are due next Tuesday, and then we'll have to decide. I hope that we have 60 exactly and not 61. So we don't have to do any lottery draws or those kind of things, but time will tell.
Cool. All right, any questions? No? All right, perfect. Keep on rolling. Let's see, get all these out of the way. Good.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you to the middle school staff for their flexibility and patience to get the ball rolling. And honestly, thank you to the parents too, because they were very understanding about our delay. Maybe not at their happiest moments, but they were very good about that. And then in the board report, just following up on a conversation that we had in our last meeting about our status with debt service. We have 3 aspects that make up our debt, 2 of which are Board of Investment loans, which those are repaid through the general fund, and then a larger bond, which is a voted taxation. So those things, and that is assessed to the taxpayer, so that doesn't necessarily come out of the general fund, but that's a short synopsis of our debt status at this point. So any questions on that issue?
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Only thing we had was governance. So kind of cruising through that one. All right. Any other questions before we keep moving on? All right. Consent agenda. So in your board packet, you'll see a personnel report, minutes of previous regular special board meetings, claims, and all pink sheets as well, which is our out of district students. Mr. Dennis, do you want to say anything?
Just in terms of your consent agenda, I've got some summaries in front of you, but I do want to recognize Mr. Sparks has submitted a letter for retirement. So thank you for years of service to the district and hard work. It's always, don't know this personally yet, but everybody I talk to, that's a tough decision to make and a tough commitment to make over many years. So thank you to Roger for his commitment to our kids.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Any discussion, comments?
Yeah.
Yes.
So looking at the additional hours, it just seems like we're shifting how we get up and running as a school district into an hourly rate job. And I'm just wondering if that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I see one for an after-school meeting.
Yeah, for the most part, what we're doing is we're using our own staff to provide our professional development, and they, for them to get prepared for doing that, they're preparing outside of their contract. So that's why that's a majority of the requests there. If we were to have professional development provided by somebody else, we would be paying them. And I do think it's really valuable. I think the knowledge that's accessible within our school district is really pretty remarkable. And the fact that we're making use of that, I think, is a positive use of resources rather than having to bring in. There's a time and place to bring in people from outside, but in this particular setting, we're doing a lot of our training from our staff.
Yeah, and I hear that. When I was teaching, the best professional development I got were from 2 other teachers.
Yeah.
And none of it was done in an actual professional development session. It was done over coffee, it was done at lunch, it was done after school, it was done before school, just learning how to be a good teacher by talking to good teachers. And I think that's phenomenal. And I'm more looking at like classroom setup. is additional hours, and like, I'm not hearing any additional hours yet for the bat problem, but I'm sure a lot of people put in a lot of extra hours taking care of that and stepping up when things needed to be done. And I think that's, like, one, I think we need to pay our teachers more and our people more, and we need to do that, but it seems like most of our positions are salary positions. And it seems like we should, let's just show up and get the job done. And not turning it into, all right, well, how many hours did we use? And that's just an issue I saw. And another thing was the youth flag football administrator.
Just to get the program up and running, all of the registrations and organization and communication, all of that stuff is for that particular, and it's a fundraising sort of thing, so, yeah.
We voted that position in May. Was that right?
It was relatively recently, yeah.
So, and there are, just like there's pay to play and all that kind of stuff, which takes some of that. So, it's a good program. Okay, any other questions? All right, if not, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Second. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, we'll keep on rolling. So the next one is items of old business, which we always have to hear, building, long-term facility planning. I think really things, I think we're gonna have to have a longer discussion about that.
Yeah.
In terms of what we're going to do in terms of planning for buildings and all of that kind of stuff. So, more to come. Next one is review and acceptance of the FY22 audits. Unfortunately, Mr. Stalkup is having some health issues, and we are delayed a little bit. So more to come on that as well. So we'll move that to the next.
Right.
All right, items of new business. So the first one is a consideration of a contract with, this is our Cali one, but Office of the Court Administration in the 21st Judicial District Court for the Cali program at the middle school. This is our standard that we've done for many years. Any comments?
So just a renewal contract, education, mental health intervention program, so that we can support our students with self-regulation skills to be able to access back into the regular setting. So the agreement pays the district up to $37,584, reimbursed through providing the students and their entrance into the program. So renewal, so I support the approval of this contract.
Any questions, comments? Not, can I get a motion to approve this contract with the court administrator in the 21st Judicial District? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Next one, approval for the early graduation of 4 students with 7 semesters per policy 2410.
Yep, so 4 candidates who have met the graduation or will have met the graduation requirements by the end of their 7th semester. So they're in good academic standing and obviously ready for graduation. So it is your purview to approve their early graduation.
Sounds good. Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the early graduation of these 4 students? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Next one, approval of agreement with the Bitterroot Health Physical Therapy Services for 25-26. This is a renewal as well, go ahead.
Yep, so physical therapy services, and let me jump in if I missed something, but this is for services for our special education students that qualify for this service. Our contract is for 34 days, 8 hours a day. They're paid $75 an hour for their work, up to $20,000, $20,400. So a required service for us to have a provider. So definitely support the approval of that contract.
That's a good contract, so, sounds good, all right. Any questions? Okay, can I get a motion to approve this agreement with Bitterroot Health?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Excellent, next one is another one, MOU with Pickleball 406 LLC for adult educational pickleball. There's plenty of times too, go ahead.
Yeah, so just an agreement with Pickleball 406. So they're providing the facility instruction, equipment, and we are providing people. And so we're paying $10 per person, per class. We probably don't quite break even on that, but it is a popular event, for sure.
And that was my question, what do we take in per person, per class?
We do not make any money. We take in exactly what they charge us, $10 per person per class.
And the reason I think that Mr. Tennis said that we don't break even is because we have a credit for employees up to $100 per session and also our senior citizens as well. It's just a really popular course.
So in all of our other classes, we don't really lose because we don't do anything else out of house. But this is the one opportunity that we have that we do out of house. And because of that, they still charge us, yet we don't charge everybody that signs up through us. So there's a lot of seniors and staff members who realize that if they sign up through us, they get to do 406 pickleball for free. And then we actually, that's what we truly are, subsidizing and losing some money. But it's a small amount.
Yeah. Well, and from my perspective, just looking at wanting to pay teachers more and having financial challenges, like it seems, adult education seems like a distraction,
Yeah, but that's
especially when we're losing money. And I've been a person paying to go learn basketball through our adult education program.
Then those funds, they come out of a different pot of money. Sure. Adult ed fund, yeah.
Sounds good. All right, any other discussion? If not, can I get a motion to approve the MOU with Pickleball 406?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Second. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, next one is discussion on the court order for school district providing IDA services until age 22.
Yes, so I'll turn this over to Christine and Wendy. They've done a lot of research and conversations with people, and so.
Wendy and I spent a lot of time training through OPI, through NTSBA, through Colorado Law on what essentially is just a settlement agreement between the state of Montana and the federal government. As it turns out, the state of Montana's laws that required us to educate our students until the age of 19 didn't comply with the IDEA requirements in the federal law. So we now understand that we are required to keep those students until their 22nd birthday if they're special education students who have either reached their 22nd birthday or have not first achieved their diploma. So they actually have to, without modified standards for achieving a regular diploma in the high school, they have to reach that milestone or age out. It's whichever comes first. But it essentially just extends what we did anyways. At this point, and where before at 19, you were kind of aged out, but now it will be the 22nd birthday. And there's some other things that go into it too, but Wendy is we had a notice requirement for the settlement agreement. We did notice one student who graduated last year of the opportunity to come back if they chose. We have not heard anything back on that opportunity. We don't think that we will, but just for you all to be aware that is now a change that we are going to be tracking. Wendy, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add?
No, you about covered it. If you guys have questions, we'll try to answer them, but I don't know that we have a lot of answers right now because this is very new.
Yes.
When we talked to Megan, who is obviously here tonight and sat on especially their webinar, one of the things that they stressed over and over was that this is going to be a learning process this year for all because it is new for Montana. It's not new for the United States, but it is new for Montana.
Montana is one of the last states that was sort of a younger age out. And the good news is that we have a lot of examples of states who have been doing this for a very long time and understand what it looks like to be educating an older special education student. So we'll be looking to OPI, to our outside advisors and probably other districts to figure out how this works best for both student and for the district as well.
Do we have any students now in this situation?
Yeah, I would say we do.
Yes.
We have some, okay.
yeah, that definitely would potentially stay past their 19th birthday, probably for a little bit longer, yes.
So it's my understanding too that we can, just like before, we can use the tuition fund to pay back whatever fees after 19.
It is absolutely special education
Yeah,
expense, so that would go into the same calculator that, we understand we can use for other students.
So, if you guys have questions too, obviously MTSBA has been all over this one so if you can look at their stuff, you'll see a lot of stuff on there too. A lot of stuff that's kind of board-ish kind of thought processes in terms of that. So, or ask Christine and Wendy, more fun to come. So, okay, that's just information. All right, next one, request approval to make pies for Apple Days in support of the Red Valley County Museum. We've been doing this for years.
Yeah, not much to add, that's just it. So,
Who's making? What club?
so, Nick, you're baking, right? Is that?
Yeah, we're baking.
Oh, it's coming
Yeah,
from
so
our
they-
kitchen, huh?
They make them and then they bring them over. Yeah.
For some reason, I think it's like the Eagles and the,
Elvis, maybe?
no, yeah, I think the Eagles makes them, they sell them for the, museum.
Yeah.
So the museum sells them at Apple Days.
And then we make it.
Yeah, we just bake the pies.
Will they bring them over and you shove them in an oven?
Yep, that's it.
There we go. Our community gives us stuff. Anyways,
Community support.
yep, so cool. Just need a motion to approve the baking the pies for Apple Days. So can I get a second? Sure. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, next one, approval to renew the partnership with VRBS for PETS services with the Department of Health and Human Services.
Yeah, so, again, we've had this in place, but this emphasizes developing independent living skills, career exploration, and vocational skills for students with disabilities. And so there is a reimbursement schedule that we can submit quarterly to reap some revenue from that. So Wendy, if there's anything to add with that?
This is also Jan Witt, who's at the high school and helps us with what's called CREATS, which is exactly what Mr. Tennis just described, all of those vocational skills. That's how we pay for her salary is through this money. And then like, if they wanted to take the kids and show them, like, this is how you open a bank account, or this is, I know they do the coffee cart at the high school, and so they actually go to a coffee shop and learn about the ins and outs of that and how to do that. But any of those types of things, then we can use this money for that. So, pretty cool.
Excellent. Okay, any comments? All right, not gonna get a motion to renew the motion? Yeah, there we go. Motion for the partnership.
I really wasn't, but I know.
There we go, for the ETS services. All right, got a motion, can I have a second? Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, kind of did the update on first, but I'm not here for reasons, whatever. All right, board policy, so we'll go 3 first, so, for the optional ones. Ready? Go through them.
Start the top. There we go. The reason that we're doing these first is this group is sort of unfinished business. You all heard them first the last meeting, so we're doing our second reading to actually pass them. The first one is on the list, 2410. You're going to see it again for an additional first reading for legal requirements. So back to the second reading on this one. This is we requested a change in this policy to correct the graduation credits that were listed in our current policy. So it was really a clerical error to make it reflect what our actual standards are. If you approve that, then we will move on and we'll talk about it again in another first reading. So moving on to 3310, if there's no questions on 2410. This has to do with our policy on use of artificial intelligence to engage. It addresses academic dishonesty essentially for students. So since this is a new world, we're now looking to incorporate it into our policies so that there's no question about how teachers can address it with student work. Let's see, 3416 is our next one. And this has to do with our ability to keep on hand stock supplies of albuterol and albuterol inhalers for students. So just a safety measure for our nursing staff on that one. 3612. This is the flip side of the student AI use. This one talks about staff AI use. So essentially, you can't replace yourself and your own efforts with AI, but we do encourage using it for reasons that are legitimate for your employment. And then 4332 has to do with the display of flags and banners. We kind of went through this in detail last time. If anyone has any other questions, it just is the new statutory requirement that we only are permitted to display certain flags. I think also just to say thank you to the board and the state for the funding for our new tribal flags. We were able to hang those, and those are now present in each building, so that's kind of a nice thing too. These are allowed, and we're going to be making some adjustments with our U.S. flag in this room to make sure it's compliant. And I think the high school has a set of beautiful flags that are also hung. I don't know if the other schools have as well. But our teachers are up to date on what flags are not permitted in classrooms and in the government space. So that's kind of the developing one. 5460 is, again, AI tools. This is the acceptable use of staff portion. The last one was the unacceptable use by staff portion. So now 5460 tells them what they can use AI for. Those are our second readings. So if you approve that batch, or if you want to pull them out individually, those will become our policies, and we can move on to the first readings.
Okay. Any discussion on pulling any of them separate? No, we'll go in mass. All right, so can I get a motion to approve policy 2410, 3310, 3416, 3612, 4332, and 5460?
So
Perfect. Second. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, now we're going to the first reading, so back to the top.
So first reading, these three policies that we'll talk about are required legal updates, but I'll just go through them with you so you can understand where we're coming from. 3110 goes back to our discussion on the settlement agreement between the state and the federal government for special education requirements, keeping kids here until their 22nd birthday or until they earn graduation. So this is just it's basically like a legislative reference type situation. We just have to bring our policy up to reflect our obligations under the IDEA. That is also why you're seeing 2410 again. We talked about it in the last batch for the graduation credits, but right now we need to address it again to make it compliant with the settlement agreement that we talked about kind of at length. And 3310, here we are again with academic dishonesty, and this is just another, I guess, kind of backstopping to make sure that we're covering all of our bases on AI, and this one relates to academic dishonesty for students. So these are all statutorily required at this point. I'm sorry, I should have gotten the 5250.
Yeah.
Sorry about that,
I
guys.
like 30.
I missed one out of the whole batch so far. This one actually relates to Megan actually spoke with you guys in the board training about non-renewals of teachers. And in the case that we have a non-renewal based on a financial reason, we just have some additional notice requirements as far as timing for the board to be specifically noticed in the agenda if that's the reason that a teacher will be non-renewed. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of like a procedural issue that Kathy as clerk and I would be keeping an eye on. But we have not had that be an issue, and hopefully it won't be going forward. We just need to have it in our policy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so for those three, 3110, 2410, 5250, those are legally required. And we would just ask that you go through those so we can include them and update them in our policy book.
Sounds good. Any reason to separate them? Anybody? All right, we'll do it in mass as well. So if I get a motion to approve 3110, 2410, and 5250.
So,
Can I get a second?
Second.
Perfect. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right. Last one is the optional policy, 4528.
Yeah, and this is a first reading, so you'll see it again at the next board meeting. This policy, the addition is to request that we add the ability to enter into a countywide multi-district agreement with other school districts. So it's not something that we've done yet, but we could do, and there are various reasons that you might want to do this at some point. It just gives you the option to do that should we find ourselves in a circumstance where it's beneficial to Hamilton. So.
Sounds good. All right. Second reading, we'll wait for the second reading. And
We're at the second reading, right?
That's all right. Okay. Any other questions, concerns, thought processes, anything like that? All right. If not, we'll call this meeting adjourned. Next meeting is October 9th. This is governance, and October 14th is regular. So, there you go.
Because it's like Western, like,